For me, the feeling honestly is that thank God someone gave me a character like that. Like for example with Maddie sir, we had a lot of conversations, or with Ajay sir when we did the part 1.
Age is just a number. I want to meet him.
If 6 months you're not seen or you're not doing something substantial, then the attention span is so flaky and so little that you can be forgotten. A Kabir Singh or an Arjun Reddy will not land if you don't show it like that. I think understanding that the actor's identity is not the character's identity is very important. The Bansalis of the world or the Anand L. Rais of the world. I mean, of course I want to be there.
Yeah.
Of course I want to work with a Shah Rukh sir. I'm also very happy doing what I'm doing. That doesn't mean that I don't have the fire or zest. If everybody started thinking about perception, then Shah Rukh Khan today would not be the biggest star coming from a TV show, Fauji. There are so many places in our country where women still don't have a voice. Nobody wants to listen to your failure story. I've always believed that if you give your 100% to your work will get you more work.
Now you're still doing the odd Tamil film. Are you still getting offers from there?
I want to get something interesting.
டார்லிங் சோலார் 20,500 முன்பணத்தில் இப்பொழுது சோலார் மூலம் இலவச மின்சாரம். This festive season, travel the world with Grand Royal Tours. மிஸ்டர் குட்கட்ல என்னதான் வாங்குற ஏன் தெரியுமா? சாதாரண ஆயிலை விட சமையல் டேஸ்டாவும் இருக்கும், ஹெல்தியாவும் இருக்கும்.
Hi Rakul.
Hi.
How are you?
Very, very good.
How are you? I mean, you've had a film, De De Pyaar De, just come out, and you're going to have, in March I think, you're going to have Pati Patni or Wo Do.
Yeah.
How do you see your career? Is it happy making for you?
Yeah, it's happy. I don't see so much. I mean, I am not someone who thinks so much. And,
Okay.
I am always at a neutral, actually. I feel that of course, I'm very happy with the kind of response that I've got for De De Pyaar De. And beyond that, I'm excited for what's coming. But my constant endeavor always is, okay, what after that? So I'm always in that motion in my head. Because I feel like our industry is so competitive that you can't never really be like, oh great, I'm in a great phase, you know. So I'm constantly...
So when you get, are you good at taking compliments?
I'm very okay at taking compliments, but I like taking compliments.
So if someone tells you you did a very good, like De De Pyaar De 1 and 2 has one of your best characters,
Absolutely,
if I tell you this,
yes.
how do you react to that?
I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful, and for me, the feeling honestly is that thank God someone gave me a character like that. You know, because it's very rare that in commercial films you have an author-backed role for a female character who has the agency. Like a woman, you know, really owning herself and deciding and taking the narrative forward. So I just feel very grateful that thank God I got a role, and thank God people are appreciating it. Thank God nobody's saying, ha, role to tha, but she's not being able to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel for me that is the biggest compliment, that everyone has just said good things.
Now, do you feel that, you know, there is this, on the one hand, there is the audience appreciation, there is the critics talking about your work, but then there is also the box office, right? Do you feel that maybe this film could have done better?
You know, of course, I can feel whatever I want to feel. I can feel we all want it to do very, very well. But I feel we're in such times that rom-com as a genre has limitations.
Yeah.
If you look at, so it's not just this film, even when you look at other rom-coms, especially post-pandemic, you know, what number did Rocky Rani do, or what number did a Tu Jhuti do, or you know, like with the biggest stars also, I feel that is an A-center genre.
Okay.
So I feel if you understand the math of it, we did pretty well.
Now that you're married to a producer, has the understanding of the box office thing changed?
Gotten better.
It's gotten
I
better.
think I've gotten to know the details of it. I think before that, when I was just an actor, I would know the numbers, but I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know a lot of technical stuff that goes behind making a film. So I think I've become. Not that I wasn't human before, but I feel like I've become a lot more understanding of what it takes to bring a film out. It's literally blood and sweat for everyone. So
Yeah.
every producer. So I will never be an actor who will go on set and throw tantrums. I never was, but now I never will be also, because I've seen what it takes to really get an army of people together to get a film, you know, in the theaters, with hard work of 300, 400 people on set, against sometimes climatic conditions, against, you know, nature, all of that, right? It's a lot of hard work. So I feel because I've seen it so closely, now I know the intricacies which I didn't know before.
Right. So with this knowledge, you know, I'm sure people have asked you this before, but there's been this whole thing about this 8-hour work day. You know,
Right.
like that's been in the thing.
Yeah.
From the viewpoint of an actor and from the viewpoint of someone who's a producer by default.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a producer, but yeah, a producer.
Yeah,
family,
yeah, but
yes.
family, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you look at it?
See, I'll tell you, my answer would be the same.
Do you mind
from
if I tell you first how I look at it?
Yes, of course, please.
So we can have a
Yes,
discussion
of course,
about it,
of
right?
course.
So the way I look at it is, of course, it's an individual's choice, and if it's an individual is like has the privilege to kind of be in that condition, that's well and good. But I also think that filmmaking is a very because I know a lot of directors, I've been on sets and all that, and I know that it's a very weird job.
Yeah.
You know, let's say the generator conks off for 2 hours,
Yeah.
and 8 hours is now 6 hours.
Correct.
And let's say that day is a combination day with 15 other actors who are not going to be available
On any other day.
or you have to wait for 2 months or something like that. It's a little.
And we've all been there.
Yeah,
We've
so-
all been there.
So
and we've
I
pushed.
feel it's a call that each one. I don't think you can generalize
So,
this.
which is why my answer was going to be that it is for me, I feel like my answer wouldn't change irrespective, because I'm of the opinion that the example that you gave right now is those one-off days, right? It's not like a generator is going to conk off every day.
Yeah.
Having said that, I feel it is just such a subjective choice. You know, I said this in an interview very recently that everyone is in a different space, in a different place in their life at a certain age,
Yeah.
right? When you start out, you're with this whole adrenaline and you're like, I will work on 5 films at a time, which I've done. Now, I don't want to do 5 films at a time. I like to do 2 films at a time, or one, or, you know, you just understand your craft better.
Right.
Now, having said that, somebody could be okay with 12 hours, somebody could be okay with 14 hours, somebody could be okay with 8 hours. I think that's a very personal choice to make. But that's something that should be pre-discussed. And both actors and the team has, I feel, the right to choose then,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
If somebody's going through a phase where, because you said Deepika's shift, 8-hour shift thing, it's okay for her to have a decision that she wants at
That works
this
for
point.
her.
That works for her
Yeah,
at this point, which
yeah.
is not making her guilty, right? At the same time, it's absolutely the right of the producers to decide whether they want to go ahead with it or not.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
a very
Yeah,
personal
where I was
choice.
a little confused was when people started talking about it becoming a kind of a rule. I
I
think
don't
that's
think it
a
can
little.
ever be a rule.
Yeah,
I
that-
don't think it can ever be a rule.
Yeah, it has to be an
because
individual.
It has to be an
yeah.
individual. Also, what age you're at, what's your priorities. You know, like I've spoken to Ajay sir and Akshay sir about this, which also I said in an interview where they said that they worked 24 hours at one point
Multiple
in
shifts,
life.
yeah.
Multiple shifts. They
Yeah.
used to only change their t-shirts and the denims used to be the same and go from one set to the other set. And they've done that. And now at this point in their life, they don't want to do that. But I've seen both of them. It's not that if 8 hours becomes 10 hours and there's a scene that's going on, they're going to leave it. They finish that and then they go home.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like the rule is for largely most of the days, if you can, please schedule it like this so that we can have a work-life balance. So I think everyone has the right to decide if you're in a place to decide, why not?
Yeah.
And if the producer is hurting because of that, then don't sign up on that film.
Yeah.
But I feel like that conversation should be had beforehand, that if you're somebody who doesn't want to put in too many hours, then is this film for you?
Yeah.
I think that right everyone has.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what. So it's an individual thing.
It's an individual thing and it's a healthy discussion prior. I would absolutely oppose if someone signs up and then gives a shock to the producer right when the film's on floors that, oh, I'm not going to work beyond these hours. I think that's a conversation which should be had before.
So Rakul, there was no doubt that in Tamil and Telugu films, you arrived, right? There was
Yeah.
like, you were working with the biggest of stars,
Yeah.
the biggest, right? It's
Yeah.
like there was no, you were pretty much with the top level stars.
Yeah.
So you worked with Mahesh Babu, you worked with Surya, you worked with
Karthi, Allu
Karthi,
Arjun, Ramcharan, everyone.
everyone, right? So
Yeah.
it's like NTR Junior,
Yeah,
the whole
everyone.
everyone. How do you know? So that in one sense is one way of evaluating that you're there, you've arrived, right? It's like that. How do you know whether you've arrived, one has arrived in the Hindi industry?
I don't think you ever arrive.
Okay.
Okay. Which is what I was saying, that even if I worked with all the stars, it's always about what next, right? And the kind of films that you were doing at that point, and the kind of scripts that you are doing, and then you also grow older, and the kind of scripts you want to do, and the roles you want to choose. So I always look at it as a transitioning process.
Right.
I'm not someone who feels that at any moment you can say you have arrived, because our industry, like we were just saying, that it is so competitive, and today it is about being relevant at every point, that if 6 months you're not seen or you're not doing something substantial, then the attention span is so flaky and so little that you can be forgotten, right? So I've never really looked at, I arrived there, and am I arriving here or am I not? I always look at it like, okay, I started off as a 20-year-old girl who did all these films, and then I came to a point where I was like, okay, what more? What can challenge me more? And then a transition happened without even me really planning it. And then I started doing roles which were different from what I'd done. And 12 years in the industry, I'm still working. So I feel that in itself, for a female actor, is rarity in and working at a pace that, yes, I have these regular films. It's not like I'm working with good actors. I'm doing different kind of scripts. I'm not repeating a genre. I'm not repeating a format of a film. Genre, to of course, you end up repeating a little bit. But I always look at it as, you never arrive. Even there, I never thought I arrived, because I was always hungry for more. And even now, I feel there's so much one can do as an actor, because there's a difference now in being a star or an actor. And the industry is giving you that space to sort of experiment,
Right.
Better roles being written. With the advent of OTT, you can really experiment, you can sort of have a longevity. So I'm really the kind of person who's hungry for more in terms of what I haven't done.
Right.
What I have done, I have.
Do you feel that maybe, when I asked this question, I also wanted to ask, like, do you feel maybe the, let's say the Vansalis of the world, the Anand Rais of the world, the so-called
Yeah.
big name directors, right?
Yeah.
Which is not to say that you've not worked with, there's no big or small, but there are certain perceptions attached to names.
Yeah.
So when they call you, that will mean something? Has that?
Of course, it'll mean. I'd love to work with a Bansali sir. Who doesn't want
Right,
to work
right.
with him, right? But so of course, it'll mean a lot, and I think it'll mean a lot more belief in myself also. That okay, a director of that, like Bansali thinks I can pull it off. But I feel, till the time I don't have it, what's the point of, I dream about it, but do I keep thinking about it? No,
Okay.
I'm sure my work will speak, and if it's meant for me, it'll happen for me. I'm a person like that. If it has to happen, it'll happen. I have to give my best to what I have.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
And of course, I'd love to work with the best of the directors. That's on everyone's list.
One thing, I saw an interview of yours, I don't know when, but because the last time I interviewed you, you had this amazing positive energy coming from you.
Oh, I still have it.
Oh, you still have it. Okay.
I've always had it.
And this interview that I saw, you mentioned that there are so many people that are still trying to get into the industry,
Yes.
or trying for a break in the industry. I don't recall who.
Yeah. I've said this many times. Yes.
But I've gotten an opportunity to work with all these people, and so do I look back at that and do I look at
I
what
was
I
just
don't
gonna-
have and
absolutely.
complain, or do I look at what I have?
I was
and,
just going to say that.
Yeah.
So when you said that, okay, the Bansalis of the world or the Anand El Rais of the world, I mean, of course I want to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course I want to work with a Shah Rukh sir. Of course I want to work in a Yash Raj banner. But I'm also very happy doing what I'm doing. That doesn't mean that I don't have the fire or zest.
Right.
It just means that I am very grateful for what I have, because there are a lot of other people who don't even have this.
Yeah.
And I always say this, there could be people who are really struggling, who could be prettier than me, who could be more talented than me, but I have the opportunity. So I always look at the glass half full.
Yeah.
And what I was just telling you, that 12 years and constant work and across industries has to be a blessing,
Right.
So, yeah.
When you choose projects, how do you make this decision? I'm very curious about this movie that you did called Chhatriwali.
Yes.
Now, it's a movie. Now, as a movie, there's nothing wrong with it, right?
Yeah.
It's a female Ayushmann Khurrana kind of movie.
Yes.
Like a girl gets into an embarrassing situation, like
Yeah.
a condom tester,
Yeah.
and how she doesn't want to talk about it, and then
Yeah. How she
it's
gets
typical
it, yes.
Ayushmann Khurrana zone where
Yeah.
there's an embarrassing subject, social
Yeah.
subject that you kind of thing, right? So I can see that on the one hand, it gives you a chance to explore a zone that you haven't
Yes.
been in, but on the other hand, and I'm being a little brutal here, but not in a bad way, it's not got the names that one would typically want in a movie, right? Because this is not about the talent at all.
Yeah.
This is about perception. That's
Yeah.
where I'm coming from, right?
Yeah.
How do you make a choice of that kind, right? It's like, because I find that a very interesting choice.
So I'll tell you, I feel cinema is, you answered it yourself in a way, that cinema gives us the opportunity to say things that I possibly cannot say in an interview.
Yeah.
Right? Or I can't maybe just go and start telling people. And when I read that story, I don't look at perception with a film.
Right.
Right? I feel if everybody started thinking about perception, then Shah Rukh Khan today would not be the biggest star coming from a TV show, Fauji.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes you just have to go with your gut instinct. You like a story, you tell a story. And then you just leave it to the audiences to really see whether, they... And sometimes, like this story specifically was so... I liked it so much that I thought, even if 5 people get impacted by the thought of it, because I had very closely known a story personally where somebody really... I spoke about this, popped these pills, the night after pills, and damaged their system and had to be rushed into an emergency surgery. So I feel like if sometimes your film can be edutainment and not just entertainment, and it impacts 5-10 lives, what better than that?
Right.
I'm doing what I love doing in front of the camera, and if it can bring a change in some people's... And I got so many messages. Chhatriwali has been 2 years now.
Yeah.
I remember that time I got so many DMs on my Instagram, and there was this one specific one where this girl said, I've been trying to have this conversation with my husband for the longest time, and thank you so much, I showed it. Now, we're women who have a voice.
Yeah.
But there are so many places in our country where women still don't have a voice, and they can't. Like Dr. G was another film where,
Yeah.
where it was a taboo subject, and we'd really done case studies of real case studies where everything that was shown in the film were real stories, where men would treat women like that, or they wouldn't know about the female reproductive health.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, it was just like, okay, great, it's something experimental, and I'd love to do it. I'd love to take that chance.
Yeah.
Not every film is perception. You do some films for perception also, because only if you do those will people see these. I feel, you have to do the commercial. It's a balance.
Yeah.
But sometimes certain stories you just feel like I want to do it.
So when you say that, when you saw the story, right?
Yeah.
So you read scripts.
I read scripts.
Okay. Is that common practice here?
Here, yes. In
Was
Telugu, it wasn't.
It wasn't.
No.
And Tamil?
No.
Okay.
I had never ever read a script in Telugu or Tamil. I had only heard narrations. And narration also would be like a synopsis narration, not like a 3-hour narration, but like a 1-hour gist of this will happen and then this will happen and then this will happen, like that. And we used to get our scenes just a day or two prior.
How difficult was that?
You know, I didn't
Because
know
it's
better.
also a language.
I didn't know better. You know, when you start like that, I didn't know the language, so I knew it's going to be tough. So it's okay. I mean, I've signed up for it. And I didn't know scripts were shared. I never read scripts before that. So for me, I thought that was the normal till I actually started seeing scripts. And then I realized that now I can sort of compare and say that as an actor, when you have a script, it's so much easier to create that character and understand the boundary of the emotional range of that character, because you know exactly what happened in the first scene and what's happening in the last scene.
Yeah.
And then I think 2-3 years back, I was actually having this discussion with someone. I said, now when I look at 1 or 2 films, I'm like, why is she happy in the next scene and crying in that scene? And I wouldn't do it like that. If I'd known that exactly the screenplay wise, this is what happens, I would possibly have done it differently.
Yeah.
So I think getting a script just makes you think about the character a little better and you understand the graph of it. And I feel you can have a better understanding of the character and a better performance.
Right.
Which is why when you see the earlier films and you see now, I at least feel that there's a huge difference.
Are you good at evaluating, for the lack of a better word, your own performance?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I will never, it's very tough to evaluate your own performance.
Right. A lot of actors that I speak to say the same thing. They say you only see the mistakes. Or
Yeah,
you
only see the mistakes.
you only see what you could have done. I wish I had done this,
Yes,
or I wish
absolutely.
I had. That's what they say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But is there a film that you finished and then you said, man, that was a good experience? Not like, I think I really gave it my all. In terms of, I think I really performed well. You know, that kind of a thing.
You know, I don't
because I think you're the kind who will probably give your all to everything.
Yes.
You know, but I'm talking about, you know, you can give it all and still not hit that performance level in your head.
I feel like the makers that I've worked with, let me just say, recently, De De Pyaar De 2, right? Now, De De Pyaar De 2 has a lot of dialogues and a lot of emotional scenes with the father, with
And also
Maddie
emotional
sir,
fluctuation.
and fluctuations. And she's very different with her father. She's very different with Ajay sir, very different with Mizan, and very different with her mom, right? So, I feel like when you're doing it, you anyways try to give in your best.
Yeah.
And I'm not the kind of person who can ever say, so I leave it to the director.
Okay.
But every film, trust me, I go to the director and I say, till the time you get what you want, don't okay the take. You know, even if that means I have to do many more retakes, if you think I'm not getting it, please tell me. Because I'm not seeing, I don't like to go to the monitor. I feel it distracts you. So unless the take is okayed, I don't see the monitor. Once it's okayed, then I'm like, acha, time hai, to I'll watch it. Otherwise, I'll not even watch it.
Yeah.
So I feel like there were moments where I felt that, yeah, I think this was good. But I am again not the kind of person, I don't think I can ever say it myself, oh yeah, because there's always a scope of improvement.
There is.
There is. And I know that, especially in this film, like a Love Sir or an Anshul, they are very particular about what they want.
Yeah.
You can't even change a comma. You can't put an extra pause. You know, it is what it is written. Like you have to. So I knew that, you know, they're not going to okay till the time I think they would have got. But I can say that sometimes, you know, there are certain scenes you really enjoy doing.
Okay.
Enjoy in the sense that you get this sense of satisfaction as an actor, where you're like, this was fun.
Yeah.
Because you're surrounded with great actors, like especially the highway scene with Maddie sir and me. We really had fun. You know, it was different.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when you're acting with people like Ajay Devgan, Madhavan, all these people, not just them, but even in the South, like people who've had a lot of experience.
Right.
Like when you finish shooting, do you also kind of ask them about other things? You know, like not finished shooting the film, but after a take or after when you're sitting or relaxing, do you ask them about, you know, what are your experiences like? What is this like? That kind of thing. Yeah.
Of course. Different conversations with different people. I feel like, for example, with Maddie sir, we had a lot of conversations, or with Ajay sir when we did the part 1. about how cinema was earlier, how things were different, it was film, there were no monitors. So you've had those conversations on set, how it's evolved, how it's changed. Even with Maddie Sir, for that matter, his journey, how his first film happened. So many other conversations beyond that you do have. I think those are the fillers in between while the cameras are being set.
You're technically an outsider because you come from an army
Technically
background.
full.
Yeah.
Full outsider.
Well, no, but I'm saying when you came here, you'd done some work there, in the South and come here. So that way I'm saying you're not, like you had some
But I was
camera
outsider for the
experience.
South as well.
Yeah. Now that you're part of a film family, has anything changed?
No.
Okay.
And I wouldn't want it to change, in the sense that I am part of a film family after 12 years in the industry, you know. And we don't discuss work at home.
Okay.
That's a very conscious choice that between Jackie and I, we don't. Otherwise, it can really get messy. Unless we really want a...
Why do you say messy?
Messy in the sense that I feel like if you're... See, he's also producing, right? And I'm also acting. So unless I really need his suggestion, so I ask his suggestion as a partner, not as a producer. Right? Because why I said messy is that otherwise you'll never know where to draw a line between your external and internal world.
Right.
If you're doing this 12 hours outside and you come back and you talk about, okay, baby, what film are you making? And I'd love to do that. It can really disturb things, which is why we don't discuss work. And which is why I never know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he will just know once the film is logged, and I'll tell him, hey, I really like this script and I'm going to do this. Or sometimes if I'm confused, I'll, tell him a one-liner, and I'm a very bad narrator, so I'll give a very bad narration. And then, so that's all our conversation limits to. So I don't think it changes anything. I still reach out to people. And I would love to keep doing that, because that's how I am. That's my individuality as a person. I am made like that, where I am hungry for work. So I will message people. I will reach out. I don't think anyone in the past, I never had someone pushing for me. So whatever my journey has been mine. And I'm made like that I don't even expect someone to push for me.
Right.
Because then I will not like it.
So when you say you reach out, you mean you message people and
I message people.
I'd love to work with you, something
Absolutely,
like that.
yeah. I'm like, okay, if I get to know that some director's making a film, right? So I'll just reach out that, if you think that I fit the part, I'd love to do it.
Yeah.
And similarly, and I think it's always nice to reach out, because sometimes people have preconceived notions that I don't know whether she'll want to do this genre. I don't know whether she'll want to do a film like this. I don't know what's on her mind. So I, irrespective, just feel that you can reach out to people and say that if there's something I'd love to do,
Yeah.
What's the harm?
So when you say you don't discuss work with your husband, he's had some financial issues. You don't discuss that as well. I remember that film because Bade Miyan Chote Miyan, because I was called to do an interview, and they had called a bunch of people, I think, to Kashmir or I forget where.
Out of the country, was it?
Out of the country,
Jordan?
maybe. Jordan, I think,
Yes.
yeah. I think that, so it was they're saying we'll fly you up and down for the interview. So I was like, wow, this is a movie that's being planned on a really big scale.
Yeah.
Because if they're calling you to Jordan or something for an interview, that's really something. Ultimately, I don't know what, maybe that I couldn't go, or they cancel it, or something happened.
No,
But
that happened. I think
maybe I can,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So the thing is, I was like, wow, this is something, but then the movie just didn't take off at all, right?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of issues, and it was widely reported in the press. Jackie spoke about it, so it was not something that was kept under covers or something like that. Now, when that happens, do you have something to do with that or whatever?
I've seen him through that journey, but I also am an actor, and I understand that every film has its own fate.
Yeah.
Everybody puts in the right kind of energy to make a film. You try your best. The biggest of the producers, right? And there are so many films which we have such high expectations from.
Another example might be Spider.
Or War 2.
Yeah.
Or Spider.
Yeah.
Or so many other films,
Yeah.
right? I had gone through that.
I mentioned Spider because
of my film.
Yeah.
So, see, I'll tell you, as an actor, your job is purely to go and do what's been asked to be done, right? as a producer, your job is to, I've seen it, so I'm just saying it, that your job is, okay, I'm funding this film and I'm making sure everybody's eating and I'm making sure everyone's having a comfortable stay. And then a director is shooting the film. And then every film has its own fate.
Yeah.
So nobody actually works with a wrong intention. Everyone's putting in their hard work. Some things work and some things don't work. Of course, it disturbs you, but life goes on.
Yeah.
And Jackie also understands that, and they've also been in the film business for very long to have seen these ups and downs. And I think every producer has those ups and downs. So many films work, don't work. Suddenly one works after like 3 films not working, and then you're back to, oh wow, great, this film was great. So it's happened with so many people. It's a part and process. It's a part and parcel of life, I feel.
Is there something that you would label like a really tough performance? A tough role?
Tough role? I think Gangubai was a very tough role.
For you?
Oh, for me? I thought in general you're asking.
Okay. Yeah, but you can talk about Gangubai, yeah, because that was a...
Yeah, it's a very, very tough role, and it's why I'm calling it tough is because you don't have a reference point of any other film having done something like this before.
Yeah.
So as an audience or as an actor, when I see that film, I feel like, wow. And also Bansali sir's shot taking, like that telephone shot I can never forget.
Where to her mother?
To her mother.
Yeah.
I remember, I think I've watched it many a times. Of course, theatre ke baad, when it came on OTT, I was like, I need to see this scene, how it's done. So I feel like that's a very complicated performance. I don't know if you can, or maybe I've not had such a role. I don't know if you can really call any of your own roles tough because you're with that character from the beginning. So you sort of start to understand that character. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, you are, but there are people who single out certain roles. That, you know what, that entering that emotional zone was really tough. They say things like that. So,
I feel I don't like to use the word tough because when you try to enter a zone that you haven't done, when it seems challenging, it's also exciting at the same time.
Right.
So whenever there is, say for example, the highway scene.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about it. Now, it's not something I've done before. It has many layers because some people may think, why is she yelling at her father? But we've all in our life had instances where we're like, not understanding.
Yeah.
But we never show it in cinema.
Yeah.
Right? Because of wanting to be righteous. So I feel like you tap into a lot of emotions. But at that point, I don't think if this is tough for me. I feel this is exciting for me.
Right.
So my take to it is this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Let's try to do this.
So again, I see this, you're putting a positive spin on what could be a negative experience.
Yeah, but because that's the fun of it. Like, why? I mean, if I have to just go and, see balloons and get excited and be like, hey, so that's not exciting.
Yeah. Balloons? Why?
Yeah. No,
like
I mean, sometimes, you're like I've done that. So,
Oh,
I wouldn't name which film, but you're...
It's going to be easy to go back and see which film. Yeah.
Anyway, I've done it in a couple of films. But I'm just saying that that's not tough.
Yeah.
But as an actor, what will challenge you is when you push boundaries. Like, for example, I'll tell you, there was this film that I'd done. I don't know if you've watched it. Again, it was like a Chhatri Wali. I wanted to take a, do that one-off. I Love You.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it.
I Love You was a thriller. It's on Geo, and it's a survival thriller of a girl.
Okay.
It's a one-night story. And part of that film, actually 60% of that film, I am fighting for my life, right? There's underwater, there's running around, there's fight and this and that and all of that. And I realized, that's the first time I realized something was tough on my body. As much as I was enjoying it, it was really tough on my body because we were shooting nights for about 10 to 15 days. And after 3 days of shooting 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. or 6 to 6, I stopped digesting food.
Okay.
Okay. So I was throwing up everything that I was eating. And third, fourth day, I started throwing up water. So I couldn't sleep in the day. So by the time I was back, it was 8. And I was waking up at 11. And then I just didn't know what to do. And I was sleepless. And again, I had to go to shoot. So after 4-5 days, I became like a robo. And I didn't know what's happening. So the first time in my life, I had to take like a sleeping pill to sleep. I had to consult a doctor, take a Restil, sleep, obviously under doctor's supervision, because I wasn't being able to sleep. I was hardwired and my body was warm. I was, but I didn't have fever. And then I was not being able to eat or drink. And then I spoke to my nutritionist guy, because I always have that alternate way of healing myself. And she said, possibly your body is thinking it's in fight or flight mode.
Okay.
Because I was in the film doing that for number of days back to back, and I'm crying and I'm screaming and I'm running and I'm, so my body started thinking I'm in danger.
That's your real thing.
The real thing.
Yeah.
And so it started becoming acidic and it started reacting in a way out of fear, and your adrenals get affected. So that for me was a very new experience. And strangely, she said, once right now you take this medication and you finish your shoot, and then we'll see. And we changed some dietary things. And after I finished that schedule, I just went to London for 2 days because Jackie was there at that time. And you won't believe me, I've landed in London. I had my first meal, I was very scared whether I'll be able to eat it or not. And I was fine. I didn't throw up. I didn't take medication. And suddenly your brain sort of thinks, okay, you are in a safe space.
Yeah.
Or you're in a changed environment. There's no blood on me and there's no...
Yeah.
So for the first time, I realized that something could actually affect your body even when you're acting, because you tap onto a certain emotion, possibly. So that was tough, if I have to call it.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, so that was tough.
Yeah.
But not while I was doing it.
Yeah.
It was fun while I was doing it, but...
Or to use your word, exciting.
Exciting, yeah. Exciting.
Now, because you are so focused and you want to achieve these things and all that, there are a couple of films, we won't name them, where you've just had to be arm candy. That's part of the natural growth of, it's not like good, bad, we're not getting into that. But when you were doing that, like in that moment, did you kind of have this, what am I doing feeling? Or was that also like, I've committed to this, let me just do this the best way possible and get out of it?
No, always. I've committed to this and let me just do the best way possible. And let's say that, the films that I did then, if you're talking about the beginning, a couple of films, I think every actor has that journey.
Yeah.
And you only understand what you like or dislike after a couple of years. And also because I didn't come from the industry, I didn't have the choice to decide what I want to do. I chose from what I was getting. And I've always believed that if you give your 100% to your work will get you more work. So I used to... Once I've signed up for something, then it's 100% yes.
Yeah.
There would be 1 or 2 films where in the process of shooting, I realized, I don't think this is landing right. I won't name it, but I remember...
That's an instinct you have.
That's an instinct. You just know that the energy is not right, or the intention is not to make a good film. The intention is to compete with another film like this. You'll never land then, right? But then also, because you've signed up for it, you got to do it.
Yeah.
I feel it's only after a couple of years. Samantha told me this long back. When I was, I think I was just 2 or 3 films old, and there was some article, is Rakul the new next Samantha or something, and we were all at a party, and she told me that you will enjoy this for a couple of years. And then you will suddenly feel like, I want to do something that really excites me. So I'm going through that right now. So I'm telling you this, that watch out for that. Like keep that in mind. And obviously, because I was just enjoying this whole the success and signing films, and I didn't realize that at that point. But a couple of years later, when I did 2 or 3 films which had great roles, like I did Rarandoi and Dhiran Adhikara Mondra, and like meteor roles, and I was like, yeah, I know what she means. Even though Venkatadri had a meeting role, I was meaty role.
You want to repeat that sentence?
Even though Venkatadri had a meaty role, it was my first film to realize anything. Right, and many films, but I think the point in my career, 17, 18, is when I realized, and then I was doing De Pyaar De here simultaneously, and Rarandoi there, and Dhiran. So I felt like, oh, this is what she meant, that, when you taste a little more depth to the character, then you want that.
Yeah.
Having said that, it's not necessary that all the time you will get that. But now at the point in my career where I am, or where I am in my life, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to, now I don't want to do 4 scenes, 4 songs. Unless, of course, it's Shah Rukh sir.
No, but
Or Bansali sir.
but what's wrong with 4 scenes, 4 songs?
No, it's not wrong.
Like-
which is why I said, unless it's something that, again, never say never.
Yeah.
Unless it's somebody I really want to work with.
Yeah, because I'm just assuming you do this I love you, and then you're exhausted, but you want to do a film, and it's a 4 scene, like 4 songs, 4 the scenes kind of film. Though because I'm asking you like a theoretical question.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be like a nice little break kind of a thing?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think I shouldn't say anything, because again, never say never. Today I'll say something, no, I don't want to do it, when tomorrow I get
No, but
lured
this is what you're
into-
feeling today. See,
Today,
this interview
yeah.
is taking place today.
Today. So
this is how you
today-
feel.
Today, as of this afternoon, I feel it would only happen if it's a maker or a actor I've been dying to work
Okay.
with. Otherwise, like a Shah Rukh sir,
Yeah.
you know, or a Bansali sir, or you know, few others on the list as well, or a very big franchise film, you know, tomorrow forget a Dhoom.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
no questions asked. But do I really want to do that? I would really be more excited to do a little more,
Yeah.
you know. Like, I really enjoyed De De Pyaar De.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really enjoyed. So I'd like to do a little more.
Now you're still doing the odd Tamil film or Telugu film. For example, you were in Ireland a couple of years ago.
Yeah, last year it released.
Last year, right? It's like
24 it released.
Yeah,
Jan.
yeah,
Last year
yeah.
it released.
Yeah.
Ireland.
Yeah.
January.
Yeah, and then Indian 2, Indian 3. You're part of that.
That was, yeah.
Yeah, that was thing. So, are you still getting offers from there, or is that a?
No, I would love to do. Again, but I want to do something that I haven't done before.
Okay.
See, also what happens now, I'll tell you. When you're 20, you look at things very differently. When you're 30, you look at things very differently. You know?
Right.
In terms of when I was saying, do I want to get excited looking at balloons? No, I want to do something more meaningful. I want to do
I
something.
feel that has really scarred you.
No,
The
I'm
balloons
because
of-
I just use that as an example.
I
Not
know,
that,
yeah.
of course, I'm not saying for people who are watching this, I'm not saying that I don't respect or love that film, whichever that is. I love my journey. But at this point in my career, I really am missing Telugu.
Yeah.
I would love to do Telugu because I'm half a Telugu girl. I look at a Telugu person and I start talking in Telugu, I get so excited, right? And that's the place that gave me an identity.
Yeah.
But I want to do something that I haven't done there before.
Yeah.
I don't want to definitely do 4 songs, 4 scenes there.
Yeah.
Because I've worked with everyone. So what is it for me? What is challenging for me?
Yeah.
You know, if I'm moving away from home and going and shooting and putting in the hours, I want to be excited.
Yeah.
I'd love to do a film which is pushing that, which with the Rakul that people have not seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so, or even for Tamil, in Tamil for that matter. So I'm absolutely open to it, but I want to get something interesting,
Meaty. Yeah.
meaty, and something path breaking or something really exciting for me to do it.
Now, we spoke about Telugu cinema. Now, I know you give a positive spin to everything, but when the biggest star, one of the biggest stars, you know, Mahesh Babu, because that's a level that not many women heroines, female actors get to acting with a Mahesh Babu, right?
Yeah.
When that movie does not work, I know that you've had your share of movies that work and movies that don't work, and then,
Yeah.
like you said, a movie's destiny is not in your hands.
Yeah.
Max, you could do just the acting and go away. But when something like that doesn't work, is that still like, okay, whatever, it's the destiny, or does that create a little bit of a...
So, you know, somebody asked me this question last week in one of an interviews. Not this question, but a film that really, the failure hit me.
Okay.
And it was Spider. And I'm not saying that I didn't have a film that didn't work before that, but maybe the expectations that you have from the scale of it.
Yeah.
Because earlier, maybe I was so new, I was just in that whole adrenaline of working and releases after releases, and today I'm on this film, tomorrow I'm on that film.
Yeah.
You don't really let anything sink in.
Yeah.
But a scale of that film not working, I think did affect me a little. I mean, of course, it did affect me, not a little bit. But after a few days, I was like, okay, now what can I do?
Yeah.
I mean, as an actor, what can anybody do?
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone gave their best, whether it was the director or Mahesh sir or me, whatever we were asked to do, we've all done. Again, it wasn't the fate of that film. So I'm the kind of person who moves on from failure quickly, because nobody wants to listen to your failure story. Nobody has the time, nobody has and the industry, and I am of the belief that yes, you can feel bad 2 days, 3 days, give yourself that time and then get up and start working again.
What do you do when you feel bad? How do you get out of it?
I feel bad, but I still celebrate that day.
Okay.
Celebrate in the sense I still surround myself with my friends, my family, any release. And I'm not, and you'll say I'm giving a positive spin to this.
No, I love that, because this is one of the things that all these years of interviewing has taught me, is that you never know, like you say, some people complain, some people, but it's refreshing when these big disastrous things happen. For example, let's say I'm going for an interview that I've really prepared for with this big star or whatever it is, and if that interview turns out to be like a really bad interview, I am going to feel bad, right?
Yeah.
But how do I get out of it?
You're going to prepare for something else.
That's the, so I think that's why these conversations are important. It's not like, I don't think, who wants to listen to a sad story, but I think there is value in listening to someone's.
No, absolutely. I hear what you're saying. So, of course, I feel bad at that point, and I'll be like, okay. But then I also, in the same breath, tell myself, but it's not like I could have changed anything.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not something. Yes, I will feel worse if people say she can't act.
Yeah.
Or what was she doing? Because that would hurt you, right? Luckily, that's not happened. Where thank God, but so how do I put it? So for me, every release is a celebration, because like I said, there are so many people who want to be on the big screen, and I am on the big screen, and a result of something that's not in my hand, I can feel bad about it, but I can't be guilty about it.
Yeah.
Right? So I still celebrate that day.
Yeah, no, this is not guilt at all.
Yeah, I'll still celebrate that day with my closest people, closest friends, because thank God I have a release, and thank God I have work.
Yeah.
And I have more films to look forward to. Then I will just sort of introspect, reflect if anything could have been done differently. And I realized at that time that honestly, as an actor, even that's not in my control.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done anything differently. As a female actor, I couldn't have gone on the edit table. I couldn't have done anything. I don't have a say. So I don't think even male actors, not everybody does that. But I'm just saying, as an actor, you don't have anything in your control. So it's okay.
It's okay.
You just move on. So you feel bad Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday you wake up with fresh, renewed energy, and you're like, okay, what next?
The next. So what was that Monday for you after Spider? Do you remember?
I think I was shooting already for something. So I just told myself that it's okay, Rakul, now move to what's next.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, either I can feel bad and feel like, why does it happen to me? Or, or really go into that loop. Or I can be like, okay, what was my experience from this? I got an opportunity to work with amazing people, and I use that experience in whatever I have to do further in my life.
Now let's talk about your very first film, 2009 Gilly, which is a remake of 7G Rainbow Colony.
Yes.
And this character of Anita that you play, today that film would be called, because there's so much of media, social media and all that kind of film would be called a toxic film. And that romance would be called odd and all that. I want to know where Rakul draws the line between this is fiction and we can show anything in a film versus this is really troubling and I do not want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying, right?
The story of
no, it's the one where
yeah, of course I remember. There's but what I was trying to come at is that when I did that film, I was very young. I was right out of school.
I use this as an example.
Yeah. So no, I'm just coming to what you've asked. And I don't think till you've spent a couple of years in the industry, you really have the understanding of what you want to do, what you should do, what should be on screen and what shouldn't. Um, I feel it's a very fine line,
Okay.
right? There are certain films which are, I feel, we're entertainers, right? And a film should be viewed as a film. Now, if you see an action film, you're not going to go around starting to hit people and say that this hero gets away with and he's not sent to jail, so I can also, shoot people left, right, center and udao gaadiyan, and you can't do that, right? So it's entertainment. It's purely entertainment. So I feel like as actors, we are making films of different genres to entertain people. It is their right to like it or not like it, because films are again a very subjective, very personal choice of the kind of films you like. Some people can take gore, some people can't take it, like that. I limit it to that. And when it comes to a story, of course, there are certain things I would never do on screen. And that comes from the place that, can I watch my film with my family?
Okay.
It's that space.
That's your thing.
That's my thing. Can I watch that film with my parents, my husband, my family, all of that? Even before my husband, my parents, right? Before I was married to him, it was my parents. And so I think that for me is a line of doing. And maybe if I don't understand the grain of the character,
Okay.
if I feel ethically the character is wrong, I may not.
Okay.
I've never had that where I felt I'm promoting something which I don't agree with.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's always, the trajectory has been good.
Yeah, trajectory's been, I don't think there's been any of my films which, not that I can recollect, which has been a debate on whether it's toxicity, whether it's, they've been mostly entertainers.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the gray areas. Like, for example, in NGK, you have an affair with a married man.
Correct. Purely as a film.
As a character.
As a character.
Fictional character.
Fictional character. It is a fictional film.
Yeah, it is.
It is a fictional film. So it's not even a biopic on somebody, or it's not even that. So it is a fictional film. So which is why I started by saying that, we should view films as entertainment. When you view a thriller, you view it differently. You view a rom-com, you just go there, it's for popcorn purpose.
Right.
I think we should just view it like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Rajnikant.
Yeah.
Big star, big following, hugest following. He, after a point, gave up smoking cigarettes on screen because he felt that was sending out a wrong message. So there was this one film where he, did the cigarette action with chewing gum. And it was like, wow, what's happening here? Because
but that stardom is very different.
That's very different, yeah.
That stardom is very different. And you can't compare it with... ऐसे तो then there are so many actors in so many films and they don't do like I know so many actors who don't smoke or drink. And for roles, for example, Shahid.
Yeah.
And for Kabir Singh, he's smoking, but he doesn't smoke in real life. But that's a character.
Yeah.
A Kabir Singh or an Arjun Reddy will not land if you don't show it like that.
Yeah.
So I think understanding that the actor's identity is not the character's identity is very important.
Which is the character that's been the farthest from who Rakul is?
Wow.
The one that you could not, wow, I can't believe this person exists because it was so out there.
Maybe Aisha's character.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they
I don't think I have the guts to date someone 25 years older. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's purely a character.
Yeah.
And Aisha is also quite feisty.
You come across as somebody
I
who's
am
not,
feisty, but I'm not. I think I'm not like she's figured it all out.
Yeah.
I'm a little more sensitive to how I will deal with situations.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if the feisty part is okay, but I think that conviction, maybe I'm definitely not a person who would, date. Would I be okay with someone? Yes. But I wouldn't do it myself.
But you just said a little bit earlier, never say never.
But I'm married now, na?
Yeah.
So I can say never to this.
Oh, that's true, actually. With heroes, they are heroes all their lives, right? That's typically how it goes. Of course, now things may have begun changing a little. Uh, with heroines, there's always some kind of a shelf life, but women have always found ways, right from Sharmila Tagore or Hema Malini or kind of, they've found ways to certain actors, let's say the
Yeah.
big ones, have found ways to escape that. Okay, I know that they are not going to cast me as a leading heroine who does these, what you said, no, sing and dance, 4 scenes, 4 songs anymore, but let me see what I can do with my career. And they've pushed themselves. Deepika's doing that, Alia's doing that, all that kind of stuff. How do you see yourself transitioning into the zone, that kind of a zone?
See, I definitely would want to be someone who is working for us as long as I can. And I think it's very important, though I still feel for a little longer I can do the dancing bit. But I feel it's also important to, which is why I like to do that Chhatri Wali or do that, like it's also important to take on roles which make people look at you as an actor,
Right.
because things are really changing now. When you look at a Shifali Shah or you look at a Tabu ma'am, and they're doing some of the finest roles now and have been in the industry for what, 30 plus years. I think that's amazing, and films are giving. Shabana Azmi ma'am is still acting and doing some great work. So I feel you have to, personally, I feel you can't be delusional, and you have to know at what point in your life what kind of switch do you want to make, or and try to do that. So I would like to do that. I just want to, I don't know how and what, because you can't really plan these things. You also pick from what you get, you sort of see what's happening. But all I know is that it's a great time for women because of so many people. Kareena,
Yeah.
I mean, look at her. She's been in the industry killing it for so many years, and Bebo's fab, and choosing to do a film like a Buckingham, what was it?
Murders, right?
Buckingham Murders,
Yeah.
and so many others, right? So I feel the industry is now changing, and it's giving you, though fewer, but it has that space for women to sort of do different roles and different things. And it's important for us to sort of know when and how to sort of start doing that. So I hope I can. It's easy to talk, but I hope I can navigate and continue
But there's
to
a
work.
great example that you gave, because I think that OTT is just going to get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Because I do think that many people are choosing to, it's a sad thing, but many people are choosing to watch more entertainment at home.
Yeah.
So when you talk about somebody like Shifali Shah, a Delhi Crime is a great space of a good acting opportunity, a very high profile, visible show,
Yeah.
and multiple seasons, which means like, that. So
Absolutely.
there's like all these simultaneous things going on,
All of
which you
that.
will probably never get to navigate that layering of character on a screen role because the time is so limited.
Yeah, absolutely. And why not do this and that?
Yeah.
Like OTT is a creation of the last few years, just 2-3 years, right? Like majorly post pandemic is when people have really gotten to watching a lot of content at home. And I feel if you can sort of strike a balance between picking like a Huma's Maharani or a Delhi Crime Shifali Shah, these are like path-breaking shows.
Yeah.
And I love what Kareena's done. She's doing a crew, and then she's doing a Buckingham Murders.
Yeah.
And then she does, which was this other film with Vijay Varma and Jaideep Alawat.
Yeah, the one with the, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So she's doing everything, and then she'll suddenly possibly do a Singham or a Golmaal or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like why really put yourself in? Why really create a journey? Just go with the flow. We know that there are opportunities now. And I think at every point in your life, you should keep reevaluating and seeing what is it that you want to do the coming year and then the coming year. And also, there's never one answer to it. If something clicks in the middle like you haven't thought, it changes the trajectory completely. So just knowing that there are enough opportunities is great.
But I also ask this question because sometimes, I know you said that you don't discuss work with Jackie, but there must be times when you say, okay, where are we going? Where is this industry headed? Those kinds of talks never come up. So just to see, because that's also beneficial to your career, right? It's like
Of course, those talks have happened, but those are not just between him and me, because our friends are also from the industry, partly, so if there are a couple of people hanging out, there are these discussions. There is the South and Hindi discussion. There is where's the industry headed. But I feel like we were all going through a phase, and this year's been great for the films. There have been big films. Pushpa did the numbers. Chhawa did the numbers. Sayyara did. These are crazy numbers. So if you look at it, pre-pandemic, you'd never heard of 800 crores, 1000 crores, 600 crores.
Yeah.
So if something really flies, it flies to that level also. We've seen that now. And it's irrespective of the genre. Romance has also hit 600 crores, and historical also, and then a Gadar also. So, we can all sit and talk. We've always had these conversations, and at the end of it, we always come down to, but there's never an answer for anything.
There's never an answer.
There's never an answer. So you just make your film, and there could be a film like a Narsimha, which is made on a small budget and goes to do 300 crores. Or a Gujarati film Lalo that's made on a 50 lakh budget and goes to do 100 crores. It's the fate of a film. So you just keep making films, and I feel like the charm of theatres will always remain. Yes, there will be certain audiences and certain kind of films that people will prefer watching on OTT, which will also push filmmakers to make stronger stories for the screen.
The stars you worked with, you mentioned Pushpa. So you worked with Allu Arjun earlier. You worked with NTR Jr. You worked with Ram Charan. Now they're all what we call, or what are called pan-India stars, right? Did you get the sense that they had this thing in them when you were working with them, that they would, because at that point, frankly, and the reason I asked is because nobody really thought everybody was like, oh, they're a big Telugu star, they're a big Tamil star, they're a big Malayalam star. Very few, or even Amitabh Bachchan for that matter, was a Hindi star. Nobody looked at him as a pan-India star, even though his movies ran everywhere, kind of a thing. But now you're having extraordinarily rooted, like a Pushpa, for instance, is very rooted in a particular culture and very land. But it's like doing, like you said, the insane numbers.
Yeah, I don't like the word pan-India.
You don't like that word?
I don't like the word. What is pan-India? It's India.
Yeah.
It is.
It works across India.
I know, but India is also a cumulative country of everything, right? It's an Indian film, it's an Indian actor. And I think this is a very digital media coined word. In the sense, what I'm coming to is that Allu Arjun was a big star, or Ram Charan, all the South actors, Telugu actors. And you would be surprised the amount of North Indians watched those films on dubbed.
Yeah.
So what has happened is, it's not that people have started watching those actors here. The films have started getting released in theatres here in a big way.
Yeah.
And we have social media, which has started the chatter. So what the pandemic, I feel, has done is that 2 years when we were consuming a lot of what's on our phone, it sort of connected territories. Right? And the chatter really grew. Suddenly, everyone could know anything in a second, which was not happening before.
Yeah.
Yes, there was Instagram, but the impact was not so much. Yes, there was paparazzi, but the impact was not so much. But I feel like everything in that post-pandemic phase is so connected. So now you feel that, oh, they've become pan-India stars, but they always have been. I feel like Hema ji has worked in the South and Hindi back in the 80s, or Rekha or Tabu ma'am for that matter. So everyone's been working across. It's just that people talk about it now. And they talk about it because the social media talks about it. That's my take. I feel it's like, oh, now every day this is a conversation. So that conversation has become a fact.
Yeah.
But people were not talking about it earlier. So, yeah.
Karan Johar said something very funny once. He said, so we were discussing, I don't know what, but then he said, earlier there were probably 3 magazines and that's all. So they had enough content. Now there's like thousands of magazines. They need something to keep talking about all the time.
Exactly.
So, so they, because I think it was why numbers are being reported so much or something like that. But then it's like, how do they fill up the daily quota of
Yeah,
say
but
10
I'm
stories?
really against numbers being reported so much.
You are?
Yeah.
Why?
See, I feel because also you don't know who to believe and who not to believe, right? Either there needs
You
to
should
be
be getting the right numbers
no,
because
no,
you're
no. I'm not talking as an actor. I'm talking as an audience.
as an audience, yeah.
Right? I'm talking as an audience that, of course, there's so much reporting happening, and I'm talking as an audience, and I'm talking as a film lover, industry lover.
Yeah.
I feel that look at now Lalo, for example. I don't know if you know that the first 3 weeks the film was not working, right? It was out.
Yeah.
And then one day, one afternoon, one theatre, people went in and the film fathoed.
Yeah.
Now, with the kind of reporting we have here, you're not even giving that opportunity to a film.
Yeah.
You're writing it off.
In the very
In the
first
very
day.
first, before the first day.
Yeah.
Oh my God, so tickets are not going, bookings are open, but it's only 10K, it's only 15K, it's only 20K. Arey, take a breath, man. It's years of hard work of somebody. Let the audiences decide. We do say, now, the Janta Janardhan. I'm not saying don't report the number, report the day one number. But why is this hourly reporting happening? Why are you feeding people? That means either we don't understand that it is the same ecosystem. I mean, what will you report if the industry collapses? Which doesn't happen in the South as much.
Yeah, I think it started happening.
It started, I don't know if it started, but it doesn't happen so much that little bit now pre-sales they start talking, but I feel it's very dangerous because then you can't have a film like Sholay ever.
Yeah.
Sholay became a hit much later. So many films in the 90s, 80s became hits just purely by audience. Sometimes, a film reaches late in certain areas, which is what now we're doing with constant feeding.
Yeah.
Oh, the day one's not up to the mark. Even if it's 20, oh, it's not up to the mark because you thought the mark was something else. Give it a chance. Maybe tomorrow it's double. Right? So I just feel that reporting has become sensationalizing. It's not just reporting. So leave it to just reporting. That's what I get. And it's not. I'm not talking about my films. In general, it hurts. Like for someone who loves the industry and who feels that so much opinion before even a film comes out. We've seen lately in one of the films, like so much opinion. Why?
I think it's become this. It's just that now you need to keep feeding the.
No, because we're in the clickbait culture.
Yeah, yeah.
We're in that culture, and everyone wants to feel important by saying something which is clickbait worthy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it is spoiling the ecosystem.
Finally, if you enter the film industry not knowing much about it, you slowly,
not knowing anything about it.
Right, and you slowly start figuring things out. Which film or which filmmaker would you credit for giving you the opportunity of saying, oh, okay, this is what it's all about. So this is what making a film is. This is what playing a role is. If you could
Can't pick one.
Can't pick one?
Can't pick one.
But surely there's been one in the early stages that kind of changed your perception, right?
I don't think I'll tell you what, when you're not from the industry and when your friends and your social circle is also not the industry, you just don't know anything. And I've said this before, I didn't know anything. And today, 2013 when Venkatadri Express came out, 2009 I don't count because I just did it as a hobby. I didn't even know if I wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
Finished my education and I came back in 2013 was Venkatadri, right? So at that point, even social media was not that prevalent. Instagram happened 2015, 2016. It was very different. So you're learning everything every day. You're learning on the job. So literally whatever I've learned about what lensing is used, what camera, what is a out of focus shot, everything has been on the go. Something from some film, something from somewhere. There was no knowledge. There was nobody when I go back to discuss and talk or know about filmmaking or about even presenting myself as an actor.
Yeah.
So I can never credit it to one person, or it's been a journey of years. I think it took me 5-6 years, if I have to say, to really understand the business.
Yeah.
And I was constantly working in those 5-6 years, but the conscious choice started happening only post that.
Yeah.
No, actually not conscious choice. I think conscious understanding.
Yeah.
choice तो सभी थी, but understanding of, oh,
This is what.
this is what it is. This is how I should look at it. This is how I should decide. This is how I should not decide. This is how I should project myself. And I think I'm still learning. I don't think I know. Many people know the business way more better than I do. But everybody has a very personal bandwidth of how much do you want to bring work back home? How much do you want to really give it? You know. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You
but
are,
every day you sort of learn and recognize different sides of yourself and grow and reevaluate, and you're just constantly learning. I think 2 years later I'll again go like, oh, this is how it was, you know. So you never know.
Yeah. But thanks. It's. I think this is the second time we're
Yes,
doing
second
an
time.
interview. Yeah.
Yes.
And it's, I noticed this the first time that you just radiate a lot of positivity and gung-ho spirit, and what you said, like
Thank you.
glass half full.
Yeah.
You know,
always.
and I think that's just an incredible way to go about life. And so thank you for the interview. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
And all
Pleasure.
the best.
Thank you.
டார்லிங் சோலார் 20,500 முன்பணத்தில் இப்பொழுது சோலார் மூலம் இலவச மின்சாரம். This festive season, travel the world with Grand Royal Tours.
அதான் மிஸ்டர் கோல்டு, தரத்திலையும் அளவுலையும் நோ காம்ப்ரமைஸ்.
Mr. Gold, 100% கடலெண்ணெய்.